Alright, here we have, this is a 2016 DR650, and today I'm doing a Cycra ProBend CRM install. I got sick and tired of my stock guards, so I'm sure that if anyone is aware, when you're riding the guards from the wind, they'll actually come back and they'll rub against the lever. So I had them all installed. The install itself wasn't too bad. A lot of playing around, and that's what I heard, and that's what I like about these, is there's a lot of adjustments. So you have 1, 2, and then 3. So this one can pivot up and down. This one can actually slide in and out, and it also rotates, and that's key in this, because if you don't have that, it can be very tricky. And it did take, I've been out here for about an hour and a half doing these. So I just want to go over a couple things. One was, what is absolutely huge about this is if you have Allen adapters, because you are going to be using these all the time. I started off just using these manual ones, and my thumbs are freaking killing me from pushing, from pushing and pulling, and I said screw it. So I really dug around the toolbox, and I found the proper Allen heads for my ratchets. So that saved a lot of time. Another thing too, this tool cart has been inside we have a little carpentry shop in there. I actually wheeled this out because a huge help with this is actually sitting on the bike and doing this, and having my tools right here was a great help. That saved a lot of time. A couple things. Now this is ProBend CRM Cycra. I'm sure they have different models and stuff, and I'm sure bikes are different, but I went on the install, the ball on my lever was in fact hitting. I don't know if you can see it. I actually had to tilt the handguards down a little bit to clear the ball. Also, it's kind of hack. I'm not a big fan of it, but I did have to put 2 washers in there, because if it's flush, this kicks in a bit and your ball will actually hit the lever. I don't know if you can see, bad light, but it is scarred up a little bit there because that's where the ball was hitting. Brake side, not totally necessary, but because I spaced out the left side, I wanted to space out the right side, so I just took a couple washers in there and spaced it out. So I mean, they're solid. I just wasn't too big fan of using washers, but and as you can see, I mean, it's close, but it won't hit. But yeah, so it's a pretty basic install. Oh, and then one thing too, I'm sure bikes are different, but the brake line coming off, that's a really shitty light. The brake line, I don't know if you can see this. See, this is the fitting off of the reservoir, and it is hitting. It is kind of pinched in between there. I tried rotating this down a bit, but it made this brake cable really bad S, and I didn't really like that. I mean, so yeah, it is hitting, but there's no real other way to. I don't know. I mean, there's no real other way to move this. So that is kind of the shitty thing about it. And overall, they're not too bad, but yeah. So, oh, and then I have to do it in the package. There are these black spacers. So it took about 5-10 minutes of dicking around with this. Like, why is there such a huge gap? And I tried, after looking at the rest of the parts, oh yeah. So that spacer is absolutely required. But overall, not a bad setup. Like I said, it's just a lot of, alright, loosen this, loosen those, loosen this, twist it, tighten it up. And when you tighten it up, the things change a little bit. For instance, the angle of this bar right here, once you tighten it up, it does come up a little bit. So before you tighten everything down, make sure everything's kind of, going downwards a little bit. And once you tighten it up, it'll come back up, because otherwise it was tapping here, so it was clearing fine, but the second I tightened everything up, this ball was hitting. So it's a lot of loosening, tightening, and that's why for this job, I mean, my thumbs are all freaking blistered up. the little Allen heads. Just go down to Napa, whatever. Went to 6mm. And no, I shouldn't have done this, but it did fit. It was 532. Those are the two big ones that you need. And then the back bolts here, those are 12mm. But the Allen heads just saved my thumbs big time. So I would almost do those as a requirement for this. But yeah, overall, I'm happy how they look. And let's take a front look here. So, yep. And my understanding is they sell a bunch of different designs here. I have actually big blizzard boots that I'm gonna be putting on for the winter. As you can see, it is all snow out there. So overall, not a bad job. I'm happy. Just a lot of head scratching and loosening and tightening, and redoing everything all over again. But so alrighty, hope this helps someone. Thanks, guys.